We've all been there. It's gone 6 o'clock, you know you've got to cook something for dinner, you've been adulting all day, and you just want something quick, easy, and nutritious. I got you covered. Let's do this. Hi there and welcome back to Kiwi Dad's Kitchen. My name's Kyle Willoughby. I'm a Kiwi Dad. This is my kitchen, and on this week's episode we are making one of my quick and easy family favourites, Vietnamese caramelised pork bowls. So it genuinely has just gone 6 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. I've been doing adult stuff all day, I've been doing kid stuff all afternoon, and I just need something that's quick and easy that I can throw together, that's going to feed the family and that they absolutely love. And this really is one of my family favourite meals. I've been making this for so long, I genuinely can't even remember where I found this recipe, but it is such a satisfier and it's so easy to make. So let's do this. Now ingredients wise, this is super simple. Garlic, onion, ginger, some brown sugar, the carrot, cucumber and lettuce acts as a garnish later on. I'll show you how that works. Rice serves as the main part of the dish, and then it's just brown sugar and soy sauce, and that's really all there is to it. So let's get into it. Obviously the rice is going to take the longest part of this meal to cook, so I'm all about working smarter, not harder. So rice cooker, I've just got a cup of rice in there, couple cups of water, and I'm just going to let that do its thing. Helps if you turn it on first, obviously. Just pop the lid on there, let that cook out, and we'll get the rest of these ingredients prepped. So we've got about, I think it's about 700 grams of pork mince here, but I'm just going to season with a little bit of salt. Then we're just going to pop that to the side, and we'll come back to that shortly. And then it's pretty much a 1, 2, 3 process. Now the recipe officially calls for 2 cloves of garlic. Yeah, this is me. There's no such thing as too much garlic. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this garlic down sort of fairly fine. Now, if you're not a huge garlic fan, obviously you can kind of cut back the amount of garlic you're using. If, like me, you're a firm believer in garlic is the holiest of foods, then go nuts. You can use as much or as little as you like. It is very much down to your individual tastes. Likewise, you don't have to cut this as fine as I am. You can, again, yeah, if you like a nice sort of chunkier garlic, as some people do, you can cut it chunky. If you like it nice and fine, you can cut it fine. I do tend to advise against using things like the garlic presses and so forth. You'll lose a lot of the oils that are naturally occurring in the garlic, and that's where all your flavour is, so you want to avoid doing that. And then from there, it's just a case of dicing up the onion and grating the ginger. So we'll just cut that down. So we'll peel the ginger and cut the onion down. So I've just gone ahead and peeled that ginger, and we've just got the onion here ready to go as well. So for those of you that caught last week's episode, you'll know there is about 11 bajillion ways of cutting onions. Basically what you need to do is just get the onion diced down reasonably small. So what I normally do, I like to leave the tail on just to give me something to grip, and I'm cutting down along those lines of the onion. Again, just to kind of follow the shape of the onion, and then when we cut them down thusly, you get these sort of very fine little dices, which is what we're going for. Now there are those that believe this will stop the onion making you cry. That's a load of rubbish. It makes me cry almost every time. I don't know that there is genuinely a method that stops you tearing up, but this just, it works, it's easy, and it does what you need it to do. So we're just going to go ahead and dice this bad boy up as well. Here we go. I've seen people wearing those onion goggles as well, and apparently they work. I don't know. I think, for a temporary inconvenience, you just kind of roll with it. Now, I can get off there. Excellent. Now, ginger. We're actually going to grate this down. So I've got my handy dandy little microplane here. If you haven't got a microplane, just use the finest setting on your box grater. And just go ahead and grate that down. Now again, the recipe calls officially for, I believe it's 2 tablespoons of grated ginger, or it's 2 teaspoons rather. And again, it's not an exact science. some, as we know, is a perfectly acceptable measurement, so just go with the flavor profile that suits what you're looking for. Again, I love the flavors of garlic and ginger, so I'm going to go a little bit nuts here. If it's not a flavor you're crazy about, then just kind of back off a little bit. It does definitely add something to the recipe as a whole, so I would strongly encourage leaving it in. We're just going to go ahead and get that grated down. I'm pleased I don't have the camera pointed at my face because you can't see me screwing up my eyes from these onions at the moment. Occupational hazard, you get used to it. And again, the temptation is to perhaps go for the pre-ground garlic or something, sorry, pre-ground ginger or something along those lines. Fresh is always best. You're always going to get the best flavors this way. So we're just going to finish this last little bit here. And yes, I will cop to the fact that that pause was because I had to wipe my eyes. I couldn't see what I was doing. We're just going to grate the last of this ginger down. And it's going to make an absolutely delicious taste sensation when we get it in the fry pan, which is currently heating up behind me. So this forms the basis of the flavors, and it's going to be amazing. Now, just as a final quick step before we get over to the fry pan, so this recipe is modeled off Vietnamese street food, and one of the things that's very big in that street food environment is the addition of fresh veggies as well to kind of complement the flavors of that meat. So we're just going to cut down some of these carrots into sticks. So just cut them into wee planks, sort of about a couple of mil thick, 2.5 mil thick. Cut them down into sticks themselves. And these will get added once everything is cooked as kind of a garnish, kind of an ingredient, kind of, you'll see when we get there. So we've got some carrot sticks that we're going to use, and I've got the cucumber there as well. So you're looking for those light, fresh flavors that just complement the lightness of the pork and give you that sort of fresh hit as well. So we'll just pop that over there. We'll get a cucumber going on as well. So probably a reasonable amount of cucumber. And again, it's much the same process. Just cut that cucumber down into sticks, into planks rather. Cut the planks into sticks. Boom, shalock, lock, boom. Yes, there was a House of Pain reference. Cucumber sticks. Now lettuce, just your good old-fashioned iceberg lettuce. So we're just going to grab that and just kind of shred it down. So that's going to go into our serving bowls when we get there. So this you don't have to be terribly delicate with. This is really about flavors and just giving us something, again, light and pleasant to go along with our meal. So that's pretty much ready to go. So speaking of ready to go, let's go over to the stovetop and let's get this Vietnamese pork bowl cooked. So we all know this routine by now. We're going to get that fry pan nice and hot. A little bit of olive oil in there. Once that comes up to temperature, in with the onion, garlic, and ginger. Sizzle, sizzle, deliciousness. And then we're just going to cook that out. Let those flavors infuse the olive oil. Going to cook this for about 2 or 3 minutes, give or take. till that onion starts to go sort of nice and translucent. Garlic's nice and cooked and browned. And that ginger is just smelling insane. Now, the good thing about this is it is a fairly quick process. So once that's starting to go, and you can see here already the onion's starting to go nice and clear and translucent, the flavours, the smells are really starting to come through, so we're just going to get that pork mince into the fry pan, break it up, and we're just going to cook this through. Should take about 5 to 8 minutes, give or take. And you just want that, so you see it's already starting to go that nice white colour, so you just want that cooked pretty much all the way through. And you'll see after a few minutes that colour's starting to change. We're cooking out most of the liquid that's in that meat. Still a little bit of pink in there, so you can just see just here, there's still a bit of the pink in there. So we want to get that all cooked out before we move on to the next step, which is the caramelizing of the caramelized pork bolts. So we're just going to give that a couple more minutes, and then we shall proceed. Okay, and we're now, so that's looking pretty darn good to me. So this is the caramel part, as I mentioned, the caramelized part. So got about 6 reasonably heaped tablespoons of brown sugar, and we want about 3 or 4 tablespoons of soy, 1, 2, and as my daughter would say, 1 for luck, because why not? Okay, and then we're just going to mix all that in together, incorporate that into the pork mince, the garlic, and the onions. Just give that a good mix up there. And this, you can already smell that flavour change. You can smell that brown sugar and soy combining to just really bring this dish to life. So once you've got everything mixed in and incorporated, just going to let that sit for a couple of minutes and just let those flavours kind of get to know each other. So you can see the soy and the brown sugar kind of bubbling up through the meat to flavour everything. After a couple of minutes, we're just going to mix everything around again, and again just reincorporate those flavours. So do this about 3 times. Just the mix, sit, mix, sit. So mix it all up. And then we're just going to want to give it about 30 seconds to a minute. Again, just to let those flavours come through. And that's the rice cooker popping in the background, which is ideal. Okay, and we'll just give it one more quick mix through. And you can see that delicious golden brown colour. And that gorgeous, gorgeous, sticky caramelised sauce that just makes this the delicious meal that it is. And that is about it, cooked and ready to go. And as simple as it is to cook, it's even more simple to plate up. So just got a little bit of rice in the bottom of that bowl there. And we're just going to grab a serving of our Vietnamese pork, pop that into the bowl, and this is where those garnishes come into play. So you're just going to pop along the side of the bowl here just a little bit of your carrot, some cucumber sticks, come on, just a little bit of that lettuce, maybe a bit more of that lettuce. We can be a little bit generous with the lettuce. And that is a simple, quick and easy meal to make. This has genuinely taken me just over 30 minutes to make, and dinner's ready to go. Now I need to do the taste test fairly sharpish because I know that the kids are desperately hanging out for this. But this is, as I say, so easy and so delicious. The ginger, the garlic, and the lightness of those flavors. Come here. This is absolutely amazing and so darned easy. You've got to try this. But not this one's mine. And there you have it. 30 minutes, dinner is served, kids are happy, job done. So that's it for another episode of Kiwi Dad's Kitchen. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please do like, subscribe, share. I'm really trying to grow the channel at the moment, so if you can get this out to as many people as humanly possible, I would really appreciate the support. We've also got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Please do follow me on there. I appreciate everybody being in there and supporting me. It's been a great journey so far. Let's keep it going. And as always, remember, some is a perfectly acceptable measure when you're cooking. That's Kiwi Dad's Kitchen for this week. I'll see you next time. Thanks very much.